Welcome students. Let's continue our exercise 3.3. Last time we did till question number 5, question number 4 I think, yes. So now we are going to start question number 5. So question number 5 is the measure of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram are in the ratio 3:2. Find the measure of each of the angles of parallelogram. So what we have here is we have two adjacent angles of a parallelogram. So I'm going to make the parallelogram. First of all, rough parallelogram. So although it is looking like a rectangle, okay, let me try with. So this, this, and this. Okay, so this is a parallelogram, let's say, and what they have given us is that its adjacent angles are in the ratio 2:3, 3:2. So we have dealt with many questions relating with dealing with ratios in the last chapter. Again here we have ratio of 3:2. Okay, so this ratio is the ratio of the adjacent angles. That means that this angle and this angle, these are two adjacent angles, they are in the ratio 3:2. So if I label it as 3, and you know whenever there is ratio you have to multiply with it a number so as to get a exact angle. So I am multiplying it with x. Here also we have to multiply with x, so it becomes 2x. So these are the two adjacent angles, 3x and 2x, and these are the angles of a parallelogram. That means they will follow the property of parallelogram, and the property is that the adjacent angles are supplementary. We have done it quite many times now. So I'm just going to write, let the angles be 3x and 2x. Okay, so according to question, 3x plus 2x should be equal to 180 degree. For the reason being, these are the adjacent angles of parallelogram. 3x plus 2x is 5x. This should be equal to 180 degree. Here x becomes 180 by 5. You can divide it. 5 3s are 15, 30, 5 6 are 30. So x is 36 degree. But remember that we have to find the angles, not x only. Therefore the angles are 3 into 36, that is 108 degree, and 2 into 36, that is 72 degree. I hope you have understood the question. So now let's move on to the next question. The next question is, two adjacent angles of parallelogram have equal measure. Find the measure of each of the angles of parallelogram. Again, a question dealing with two adjacent angles of a parallelogram. So there is nothing new in it. So I am making a parallelogram. Yes, it may look like a rectangle. Actually, it is a rectangle, but you will see that our figure is correct as the question goes on. So for the time being, this is a parallelogram and its adjacent angles are equal. When I say the adjacent angles are equal, I mean to say that if this is x, then this is also x. Okay, this is the meaning of adjacent angles being equal. So if this is x, then this is also x. Now these are adjacent angles, so they should be supplementary. So let us write, since adjacent angles are equal, therefore x plus x is equal to 180 degree. Let us first of all write that we have let this angle be x, so let adjacent angles here, let angle of parallelogram be x. Okay, and then you should write this. So this is equal to 180. Why? Because adjacent angles are angles of parallelogram are supplementary. Supplementary means sum is 180. So x plus x is 2x. So here it is 180. So x is 180 upon 2, which gives us 90 degree. So x is 90 degree. Okay. So if this is 90, this is also 90, and you know, if these are 90, then their opposite angle, that is this one and this one, they will be also equal. They will be also 90. So all the angles are 90. So it becomes a rectangle. So our figure is correct. So let's move on to the next question now. The next question says the adjacent figure HOPE is a parallelogram, HOPE. Find the angle measures x, y, and z. That is, we have to find these angles. State the property you use to find them. Sorry. So you have to state the properties also that we will use. Remember always that whenever you are attempting a geometry question, you have to write the properties, reason adjacent to whenever you are writing. Okay, because this carries marks. So whether they give it or not, you have to write it. So let's start. First of all, let us see what we have. We have here 70 degree. Okay, then we have here 40 degree. Okay, then we have to find x, y, and z. So first of all, the basic rule in mathematics is to compare what we have and what we need to find out and find a relation between them. So we have 40 and I am observing a direct relation of 40 with y. Can you tell what is the relation between 40 degree and y? Okay, you think till then I am writing. So this is the solution. Here HOPE is a parallelogram. It implies HE is parallel to PO or OP. I think you might have guessed what should be the relation between 40 degree and y. So it is HP is transversal. So this is becoming a perfect Z-like structure, and these angles are called alternate angles, and whenever they are between parallel lines, they are equal. That means I can write that EHP or 40 degree is equal to y, for the reason being alternate interior angles. Okay, so alternate interior angles. So we have y now. Now we need to find x and z. Okay, so again, How can we find x and z? Can you see a relation between this angle and this angle? If yes, then very good. If no, then wait till I'm writing. Again, angle. First of all, let me write the parallel lines. Again, HE is parallel to PO. Okay, and this time we're taking HO as transversal. This means that 40 plus Z, that is Z, 40 plus 40 degree plus Z, this angle is equal to this 70 degree. And why they are equal? They are equal because now you can see that this and this, they are making a perfect F-like figure. So what we call them? We call them as corresponding angles. Okay, so Z is 70 degree minus 40 degree, so this becomes 30 degree. So Z is 30 degree now. So we have Z, we have Y. Now we need to find X. If this is 30, the whole angle will be 30 plus 40, that is 70. And X plus 70 will be adjacent angles. So if they are adjacent angles, then they should be supplementary because the adjacent angle of parallelogram are supplementary. So I think I should right now, I'm erasing this part only. Okay, so now X plus angle H, I'm writing this as angle H, is equal to 180 degree. Why? Because adjacent angles of parallelogram are supplementary. Okay, so X plus angle H, we know it is 40 plus Z, and Z was 30. So I have written like this so that you can calculate angle H in a stepwise manner. So this will yield X as 180 minus 70 degree, which is 110 degree. So now we have X, we have Z, we have already found Y, and we have all the angles. So let's move on to the next question. So in question number 8, we have been given these two figures. The following figures guns and runs. So this is DUNS and this is RUNS. These are the parallelograms. We have to find X and Y, here X and Y, and the lengths are given in centimeters. So let us start with part 1. So first part. Now we know that the opposite sides of parallelogram are equal. That means I can write that 3x is equal to 18. Remember, these are not angles, so I'm not putting degree over here. So why they are equal? Because opposite sides of parallelogram. You can write are equal also here, but opposite side of parallelogram is enough to write. So 18 upon 3, this is 6. So x is equal to 6. And they have mentioned that the lengths are in centimeter, so you have to mention that x is centimeter. Okay. Now we have to find this y. Again 26 and 3y minus 1, they are equal. Okay, the x was not a full side, so okay, you can omit this centimeter. Reason being that 3x was full side now, so 3x यानी कि 18, this should be in centimeter. You need not to write 6 centimeter here. X is just a variable and its value is 6. Okay, so here 26 is equal to 3y minus 7, again because Sn is equal to Gu, and why they are equal? Because of this reason. So again you have to write this reason. I'm not writing it again. This one is getting a minus over here. You transpose this to LHS, you will get 1 plus 26. This is 27. 3y, 3 will get transposed here. It is getting multiply. When you transpose to left hand side, it will be divided. So y is 9. Okay, so now let's move on to the second part. Second part. Before second part, you need to erase first part. So this here goes the first part. Okay. So I don't need this also because this was first part only. Okay, now this is your second part. Now again these are parallel lines because these are parallelogram. This is a parallelogram. But here the x and y, they are part of diagonals. They are not part of sides. So before we move further, let us recall the diagonals of parallelogram are not equal to one another. Okay, this thing you should keep in your mind. The diagonals of parallelogram are not always equal to one another, except when they are when there is the case of square or rectangle, they are equal. Otherwise, diagonals of parallelogram are generally not equal to one another. But diagonals of parallelogram always bisect each other. That means that this and this, they should be equal to one another, and this and this, they should be equal to one another. Okay, so I can write two things from here, that x plus y is equal to 16 and y plus 7 is equal to 20. And the reason is same, because diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. Now you see, here there are two variables and here there is only one variable. So I can find y from here, and once I find y from here, I can put the value over here to find the value of x. So firstly I will consider this one. So consider y plus 7 is equal to 20. So I will be getting y as 13 here. Okay, now you are in a position to find x. So now x plus y is equal to 16, and because you have y, you can put y as 13 here. So x will be 16 minus 13, that is 3. Okay, so you need to work here with a little bit of mind, because in case if you were to solve x plus y is equal to 16 first, then you will be stuck only at the first step because you don't have y at that place. So it is imperative here that you need to find y from this equation and then put the value of y in this here. Okay, so this was the question, important question, good question. Now let's move on to the next part, next question, sorry. In question number 9, we have a figure in which there are two parallelograms. One is RISK risk and other one is CLUE clue. So RISK risk and CLUE clue. One thing you might have observed that I have told you earlier also, that whenever you are uh, giving name to a quadrilateral or any figure in mathematics, keep it anti-clockwise. So CLUE, again anti-clockwise, RISK is anti-clockwise. Okay, so let's move further. So you have to find the value of x. X is here. So how will you find it? See, first of all, let us consider only this parallelogram, RISK. So I am considering this parallelogram. So what I can observe from here is that I can easily find this angle. Reason, because I have this angle as 120 degree. So this angle will be 120 plus something, that will give us 180 because these are two adjacent angles. Okay, let me name it as, okay, no need to name it because we have angle S here, so I will write it as S. So let's start. In parallelogram RISK, firstly I am writing the name of parallelogram, because when I will take angle S, then it will be understood that I am taking this whole angle which is included in parallelogram RISK. So in parallelogram RISK, risk 120 degree plus angle S is equal to 180 degree, and the reason is adjacent angles of parallelogram are equal, sorry, not equal, are supplementary, So here we have angle S as 180 degree minus 120 degrees. This is 60 degrees. So angle S is 60 degrees. Okay, so let's move on to now next figure. Now I am considering this C, this CLU and U. Now when I am considering this angle, this parallelogram, I will be taking or finding this angle. Why? You will get it no if you have already thought about it. Very good. So I am taking this angle, and this angle is 70 degree. Why? Because opposite angles of parallelogram are equal. So let us first write and then I will explain why I am taking this. So now in parallelogram CLUE, angle E is equal to 70 degree. Opposite angles of parallelogram are equal. Okay, now S is there, then E is here. Now in triangle, yes, triangle, but which triangle? So E, S and this I need to name it. So should I name it M? Okay, so in triangle NES, in triangle NES, angle M, that is X plus S is 60 degree plus E is 70 degree is equal to 180 degree, and this is because of angle sum property of triangle. I am making a triangle instead of writing a triangle. So I am solving it further here. So x plus 60 plus 70 means x plus 130 degree, that is 180 degree. So x is 180 minus 130, therefore x is 50 degree. Okay, it was quite easy one but a bit lengthy. So let's move on to the next question now. I'm taking these three questions at once. So let us take them together, discuss them together. Question number 10. Explain how this figure is a trapezium. Which of its two sides are parallel? And the figure is 3.32. That means only consider this figure. This is 3.33. So next question, this is the figure for next question. So only consider this figure. You have to explain why this is a trapezium. So what is a trapezium? Recall that when we started this chapter, we did a flow chart. So flowchart contained all the quadrilaterals, and there was a relation among them. There only I told you about the properties of the quadrilaterals also. So in case you are missing the properties, you need to see the first video of this chapter, because in the next exercise also you are going to use that flowchart extensively. Okay, so you need to know all the properties very clearly. Now moving back to this question, here we have to explain why this is a trapezium. So recalling what is a trapezium is a quadrilateral having at least two sides parallel. Of course they should be opposite. So at least two sides parallel. So if I am able to prove that any two sides are parallel, then I will be confirmed that KLMN is a trapezium. But how can you prove that any two given sides are parallel or not? Well, very simple thing that we did last year was to prove two corresponding angles equal, or to prove two alternate angles equal, or to prove that the co-interior angles are supplementary. So here we can see that this 100 degree and this 80 degree, they are lying on the same side of transversal. This is the transversal and these are the lines, and in case they are supplementary, then this MN should be parallel to KL. So I am writing answer number 10, since angle M plus angle L is equal to 100 degree plus 80 degree is equal to 180 degree. Therefore MN is parallel to KL or LK. Reason: converse of co-interior angle theorem. Co-interior angles in a parallel line, they are supplementary. Okay, so in case they are supplementary, then the line should be parallel. So that is why we are using converse, because normally we are always given that lines are parallel and you need to prove or you need to find any angle based on the given parallel lines. Here we have given the angles, they are supplementary, and we are using it to prove that the lines are parallel. So we are doing exactly converse. Okay, that is why we are using converse of co-interior theorem. So this is Mn parallel to Kl. It implies KLMN is a trapezium, because to prove any quadrilateral as trapezium you need only two opposite sides as parallel. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, question number 11 now. Question number 11 is, find measure of angle C in figure 3.33. You have to find this. If AB is parallel to DC, this should be a parallel line. So AB line segment is parallel to DC line segment. I think this is quite similar to this. Here we need to prove it parallel. So here we proved it parallel. Here it is given it is parallel, they are parallel, and you have to find the relation between co-interior angles. We know that if this is 120, then this should be 60 degree, because 120 plus 60 will give us 180 degree. Okay, so this is 60 degree. How will you write? That's up to you. Write it, because writing practice will help you in geometry. And moving on to the last question now, question number 12. Find the measures of angle P, that is this one, angle S, that is this one. If SP is parallel to RQ, this is parallel sign. So parallel to RQ, these two line segments are parallel to each other. This is a hint. If you find measure of angle R, then is there more than one method? Okay, we will see later. First of all, this is 90, because this symbol signifies that the angle is 90 degree. If this is 90, then you can observe very clearly that SP is parallel to RQ. So these are co-interior angles. Parallel lines, transversal angles, interior angles on the same side of supplementary, on the same side of transversal are supplementary. So this is 90, then they should be 90. Okay, now again, this line, they are parallel, this is transversal. So 120, 130 and these two angles are again lying on the interior side of the transversal, on the same side of transversal, and these are the interior angles. And if this is 130, then this should be 50, so as to get 180, because interior angles on the same side of transversal are supplementary, or co-interior angles are supplementary. So we have P, we have 130. Now if you find measure of angle R, this is optional, you need not to do this, but let us discuss. In case you find measure of angle R, is there more than one method to find measure of angle P? So they are saying that if you have measure of angle R, so can you find angle P in more than one ways? Yes. Here we applied knowledge of parallel lines. We used co-interior theorem, co-interior axiom. Now you can also use, after finding this angle 90 degree, so when we have 1, 2, 3, these three angles, you can use angle sum property of quadrilateral also, because we know that if three angles are given, or you have found three angles, then fourth can be found by using angle sum property of a quadrilateral, because all the four will add up to give 360 degree. Okay, so you can do it either way, it's up to you, but I'm not going to write these two parts. Write it yourself so as to get writing practice. Now I'm going to give you here only the quiz link of which, the answers of which you need to write in the link provided in the description. So what you can do is, you can pause the video over the quiz, write it on a notebook, mark all the options, and then copy it in the Google form. So stay tuned and mark the questions, pause the video, write now. You can pause the video here. These are the first 5 questions. After writing their answers in a notebook, you have to attempt the next 5 questions that I'm going to give you. So you can pause the video here for the first 5 questions. This is the second image. Okay, so for question number 6 and 7, pause the video here and write its answer. This is the third image for question number 8 and 9. So pause your video here for question number 8 and 9. And this is your last question, question number 10. So pause the image Write down the answer and give your response in the form. Link is given in the description. So note down your answers and give the responses in form. That's all for today. We'll meet with the next exercise in the next lecture.